Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel, Flashback TNT. This is my first video of the new year, so Happy New Year if you're watching. Hope it's going well for you so far. We're sort of a week in now. So my birthday was around a month before Christmas, and then we've had Christmas and I've got quite a few gifts to show you. Mostly vintage Star Wars toys, but there's a few more modern toys in there as well, and one other vintage toy that I had as a kid that I got back for Christmas. But I'll start with my birthday. We'll go in chronological order, and you'll see what I got. So let's go for it. My birthday. Basically, I was well into the Mandalorian around that time. What a show! If you're a fan of the vintage Star Wars films, then you have to watch the Mandalorian. It's a really good fan-made project. You can tell there's love in there, and there's a lot of little bits you can spot in the show that have been taken from the original trilogy. So these were sort of brought to my attention by Craig, Super Quintendo. He picks up these toys now and again, and it just makes me want to buy them. So I have to fight the urge, like really strong urge, because there's so many good figures coming out for this Black Series. So I thought, you know what, I'll put a couple on my birthday list and see if I get lucky, and I did. So the first one I want to show you is the Mandalorian figure. This is in his original armour. I think these Black Series figures are absolutely superb, and for the price you can't go wrong. And this one came with the Mandalorian, the child. I won't say his name just in case you haven't watched the show yet. There'll be no spoilers for the Mandalorian. See if we can focus on it. I'm not sure if we can. Yeah, it can. So it's quite cool how the size sort of works out there. And I also got another Black Series figure, and this is the Mandalorian as well, in his upgraded Beskar armour. My original intention was to take these out and pose them, but I've sort of put them in my glass cabinet, just like this at the moment. I will eventually take them out. So that was the more modern toys that I got for my birthday, and I got one bit of vintage Star Wars for my birthday, which I'll show you now, and it's a fantastic piece. Basically, I had one of these as a kid, but it wasn't this figure. There was the Star Wars 12-inch range that was brought out around 1978 to 1980. I had it was a Stormtrooper I had, but my dad got me this one for my birthday, and it's basically a bounty hunter IG-88. Now there's 12 figures, I believe, in the 12-inch range. Well, this is obviously a bit bigger than 12-inch, but they call it the 12-inch range. Large action figure models. And this was the last one in the line that was brought out. He's missing his two guns. He has an Imperial blaster and a rifle and the bandolier across his chest, but this is I believe the rarest of all the 12 figures, because it was the last one brought out, and a little bit of information is it was only brought out on the Empire Strikes Back box. This one was released in 1980 when the Empire Strikes Back was coming out in the cinemas. I think the plan was by Kenner to reissue the other figures in the Empire Strikes Back box, which I believe Boba Fett was, because all the rest of the figures were in the Star Wars packaging. But because the line of figures failed quite dramatically because of the popularity of the 3 3/4 inch range, they didn't bother pursuing this toy line anymore, which is why the 12-inch range are quite hard to come by, especially this figure. So what a fantastic addition, quite unexpected as well. So it's always nice to get unexpected gifts like this, especially this awesome. And the other thing is he's still got his claws, because they're quite brittle and can come off. So yeah, what it gives me is basically something to hunt for. the original guns and bandolier. Probably rare as hen's teeth, but yeah, it gives me something to go at because I haven't got a lot to hunt for, and part of the excitement of collecting is the hunt. So I was glad to get that. So that was my birthday gifts. Next up is the Christmas gifts. Again, I'll start with the more modern, and I'll show you this from a Boba Fett Mandalorian sort of range. I thought I wanted this. I've got a couple of other ones on the first wave. I believe this is the second wave of retro re-release figures. So it was nice to add that. My sister got me that one, so that can go in the case with all the rest of the Boba Fett. Onto the vintage stuff. I'll start. In fact, I'll keep with the Boba Fett theme. This was from my dad, and this is a nice little oddity to have. I know a lot of people don't like replicas or reproductions, and I agree with the arguments about it could easily fool people and stuff like this, but this one is a little bit of an exception to me because the original is so rare and so expensive. You shouldn't be getting fooled by this at all, and it's a lovely little oddity to have from a Boba Fett collection. I don't know if you've guessed it by now. It's an L-slot rocket fire and Boba Fett replica. Now I'm glad it says replica on there. So these were basically modelled off the original Boba Fett 3 3/4 inch figure. Now the prototypes, the original prototypes go for like tens of thousands of pounds now, and they weren't actually released to the public because something happened with another rocket firing toy, and there was unfortunately child was killed by swallowing the rocket, and I think it was a Battlestar Galactica toy. So they pulled this range and just released the fixed figure instead. Now this one's an L slot. Let me show you him there. It's pretty obvious is a replica as well, and it's quite rubbery. It's an L slot there, so that pulls down. You can fire the rocket. I won't fire the rocket because I'll probably lose it. No, my luck. This is the I think this is a 4-channel rocket. It's going to be hard to focus on that. So I'll show you what it's like with the rocket in. So it's pretty cool. Imagine if this toy was actually released. It would be so cool. I mean, because the 3 3/4 inch figure itself is popular anyway. So yeah, look at that. There's no markings on the legs, but another giveaway that it's fake is on the bottom of his soles. There's no peg holes. So yeah, really pleased to have that in the cabinet next to my other Boba Fett's, because I'll never ever afford a real one. So yeah, put that away there. Next is another variation of the toy you can see here. This is the soft belly. I got the hard belly off my dad for Christmas. Again, no range in that, but I'm just going for nice examples of all like the larger action figure type releases for Star Wars, the vintage Star Wars. So there we go. 1979. I'll put him up there with his mate. I suppose it's before and after the belly gets sliced, isn't it, if you're playing the game. Next, a nice little musical band for here. Can you guess what it is? It's Max Rebo with his piano / organ. And these are notorious for like the original colour is his body, but they're notorious for the arms, legs and the head like fading. But it's nice to have him, especially with his piano sitting there nicely. And he was released on an action pack, in like an action pack with 2 other of his band members. You got Cy Snootles, look at them lips. She's the singer, I believe, and Drooper McCool. What a weird looking figure that is. These haven't got the instruments or the microphone stands with them, so again, just like IGA, I'll add it to a search listing, and I'll look for them and hopefully add them in due course. I mean, there's no rush. As I say, it's a good little thing to aim for. And finally, for vintage Star Wars for Christmas, I got this monstrosity, the Rancor monster. Hello. Yeah. The thing Luke fights down in Jabba's pit. It's got the mechanism for his mouth that works well. Should get a Gamorrean guard really and put him in there. Yeah, this is some figure, isn't it? I remember seeing this as a kid. I always liked it, but I always remember feeling it was quite a clunky figure as well. But I feel like the modelling of this is fantastic. I wonder how many kids put stuff down in the mouth and couldn't get it back out again. Especially like, imagine finding Endor blasters or something like that, the black Endor blasters down there. Fantastic that. Yeah, so what I do is I sit him on the shelf here next to Jabba. That's why the shelves are bare. I've took all this off to show you. I had a little rearrange recently. I'm going to stand him up there. Is this going to work out? Is he going to show me up? There you are. He sits there next to Jabba. And just one other vintage Star Wars item my dad found in his cupboards that he had. He said this was the first ever thing he picked up at a car boot sale when he started collecting in the early 90s. A toothbrush. Still sealed as well. I think that's pretty cool. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of those you can buy. This is Chewbacca and Han Solo. Recommended by more dentists than any other toothbrush. There you go then. Unused. And finally for this video, there's one extra toy I want to show you that I had as a kid. And I can remember this, it was fantastic, but a few years after owning it, I sold it to a cousin, I think, if I remember rightly, and I regretted it, so I got this back for Christmas as well. It's Terminator 2 action figure, and he talks. See the size of his Gatling gun, I loved that. How cool. I used to love Terminator 2 when I was a kid. I think this is 1992, 1993. Again, Kenner. Another Kenner toy. Fantastic range, did fantastic ranges, Kenner. So he's still attached inside there as well. So I probably won't be taking him out, but it's nice to have him. Lovely. So it's hasta la vista baby, and I'll be back. And yeah, that sort of brings me to the end of the updated pickup video for the gifts I got for Christmas and my birthday. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any comments on what I've picked up, please leave them in the comment section below. You know I like to talk about my toys and stuff and hear about your toys. So as Arnie would say on Terminator 2, I'll be back, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care everyone.